Namaskar. Before I get into my editorial, let me give you a piece of information. Shri Vinod Dua has been granted anticipatory bail by the Saket Sessions Court, New Delhi. The bail is valid till the 29th of this month, that is 29th of June 2020, post which we are open to apply for extension. Okay, now let's get into the editorial. Today's editorial, I have two topics. My topic number one is China. China has been trying to push their boundaries with India. What is the Chinese conspiracy exactly? Let's talk about that. That's my topic number one. My topic number two is our good Prime Minister has finished 6 years in office. So on his 6th anniversary, a lot of intellectuals has been talking about his performance and possibly why was he not able to perform the way it was expected out of him. I too have my 2 bits. Let's talk about that. That's my topic number 2. Let's get right into the show. While a lot of discussions are happening about China and why China is trying to create this unrest between them and ourselves, them and India, a lot of people talk about Chinese conspiracy, why COVID happened, why did coronavirus happen from China, why is still China talking about just 88,000 cases where the rest of the world is suffering, and so on and so forth. A lot of talks are happening about China in the last 1 year. Now, while, like I said, there are a lot of technical issues that has been discussed and a lot of people are discussing it. I know I am possibly the last person talking about this subject on the net. But I have something else to talk to you. You see, in the middle of COVID, the entire world is fighting this pandemic. In the middle of COVID, China all of a sudden has been trying to push its boundaries with India. They say that China has entered Ladakh and it has actually pushed itself in few kilometers in Ladakh. Now, India is not the only country that China is trying to push its borders with. China is trying to push its borders with Australia. China is trying to push borders with Japan. China is trying to push borders with Taiwan. So while, like I said before, the entire world is fighting the pandemic and China seems to be trying and fighting a war. Why is China doing it and why these countries? Now, in the last 2 years, if you actually look at the way China has been moving around, the diplomacy that China has been, or the strategy that China has China has been adopting, is they were literally playing chess in their minds. You see, what they have done is they have super invested in Sri Lanka. They have invested heavily in building ports in Sri Lanka. Heavily invested. They have heavily invested in Pakistan. Pakistan, a country which is almost bankrupt. China is more or less clear that Pakistan may never be able to repay China because it's a bankrupt country. They have invested heavily in Pakistan. They have been very, very, very closely monitoring and helping Nepal. So somewhere down the line, they've almost surrounded us and they've almost taken away most of our neighbors. Of course, our own policies and our beautiful diplomacy has also managed to push away a few of our friends like Afghanistan and to a certain extent Bangladesh. So that we did. They didn't have to help us. But if you look at it, China has actually built this wall around us. And then now China has taken a very aggressive stand and they say that they are trying to move into Ladakh. In fact, they say that they've moved in a few kilometers inside. Some say it's 6 kilometers, some say it's 20 kilometers, but whatever, say it's hearsay, so let's not go by that. But that being said, one wonders, what is China's strategy? Is China looking at land? What exactly do they want? Now, if you look at the countries where China is trying to push their borders and create this problem, there are countries like Japan, economically developed country, Australia, economically developed country, Taiwan, a very, very strong competition to China manufacturing, and of course India. And we were, of course, a potential competitor to China. China somehow is trying to create unrest in their trade competitors. So this is not a strategy. This is not a war for land, or this is not a conflict. There won't be even a war, I guess. This is not a conflict for land. This is clearly a conflict to dominate the market. Now, what China is possibly trying to do is trying to create problems with these countries who could compete China post the pandemic, post COVID. China hopes to dominate post COVID. China hopes to dominate the world through trade post COVID. China knows that things are not going to be good with America, so China wants to make use of it. And the only countries, if you go to see, who can compete China and who can stop China are these four countries. That is us, Australia, Taiwan, and Japan. And that's precisely where China is trying to throw the spanner on the works. China knows that Pakistan कुछ नहीं कर पाएगा, चाहे Bangladesh नहीं कर पाएगा, Sri Lanka not really. So they're okay. So they're taking them on their side. So predominantly, the two bits I want to put in is that this conflict that's happening in Ladakh is not a land conflict. It is not about borders at all. I think if and when the Chinese sit at a negotiating table with Indians, it is not going to be land that they are going to negotiate. It is going to be markets. It is going to be trade. It is going to be business. And that's what China is looking at. Think about it. Our good Prime Minister finished 6 years in office. This is his 6th anniversary. Now, a lot of intellectuals have been actually trying to evaluate his 6 years. People like Shekhar Gupta says that, you see, his intentions are good, his ideas are good, but somewhere down the line, he was not able to get the kind of support that Prime Ministers like P.V. Narasimha Rao got and Prime Ministers like Manmohan Singh got from the bureaucracy. He didn't have good bureaucracy. Others says, no, what is wrong with you? Prime Minister Narendra Modi never would keep good bureaucrats because he is one person who does not like to have competent people around him. In fact, he believes in things like hard work and not Harvard. He says, he doesn't believe in Harvard. He says, hard work is bigger than Harvard because he is a hard worker. So a lot of people say, no, he promotes mediocrity, be it bureaucracy or be it his own minister. Then there are other people who say that, good people like Sri Arun Jaitley passed away during his tenure and therefore he lost good people around him. So there were many people who are speaking many things and most of them are right in what they say. My theory is slightly different. And my theory is as follows. You see, at times, a brand falls in love with the brand. People fall in love with themselves. They just love themselves. So everything around them, every action that is taken by that individual is because of that love for themselves. And I think Prime Minister Modi loves Narendra Modi. He loves him. To prove my point, I will leave you with a thought. Let us look at brand Narendra Modi. Brand Narendra Modi professes 3 brand qualities about himself. Distinctive qualities about himself. Brand quality number 1, the overriding quality, Modi hai to mumkin hai, which was his 2019 campaign proposition. Number 1. Number 2, na khaunga, na khane dunga, the cleanest. Number 3, 56 inch ki chhati. Put all his decisions, all his decisions, every decision he has taken, you make 3 silos and all his decisions will actually fit one of these brand propositions. Because the decisions have been taken with the brand proposition in his mind, because that's what he actually believes about himself. The fact that he promotes mediocrity is because Modi hai to mumkin hai. So he doesn't like to share the glory purely because he loves his brand. He loves his brand of 56 inches, and that's precisely why every decision that Modi takes is a decision that has tremendous amount of risk attached to it, be it demonetization, be it GST, and be it the way he comes and says 20 lakh crore diya. Na khaunga, na khane dunga. You see, Modi in his mind believes that he is the cleanest man that is happening in the face of this earth. And he possibly believes it. And he may be also. I don't have anything to say that he is not. But the fact is, he definitely believes that he is the cleanest man in the world. Now what happens is, when you ask him, भाई ये PM fund का तुम क्या कर रहे हो? He says, क्यों बताऊं? I am the cleanest man. I am the brand. I am the cleanliness. I am the most non-corrupt person in the world. That's my brand. मैं क्यों बताऊं? How dare you ask me? PM fund मैं जेब से भी खर्च करूं. You see, every decision from here on, put the brand and look at the decision. The decision will match the brand. So technically speaking, the Modi ad runs in Modi's mind. And he functions according to that ad that runs in his mind. And that's precisely what the Modi management is all about. Before I end my editorial, I wish our good Prime Minister has a look at a Chinese doll. You know the Chinese doll? Big doll, inside it small doll, inside it small doll, inside it small doll, inside it small. You see, a company called Ogilvy and Mather, it's an advertising company, it's possibly one of the best advertising, most creative advertising company in the world. This company called Ogilvy and Mather, they say that when you join Ogilvy and Mather abroad in UK, the new employee gets a Chinese doll in his table with a small note from David Ogilvy. The note says, you see, never be like this Chinese doll. Because what happens is, if you are the big doll, you start appointing people under you who are smaller than you. The person who you appointed, he will appoint another person who is smaller than him. This person will appoint another person who is smaller than him, and the company goes on shrinking. So end of the day, if you do not allow people to grow and you promote mediocrity, what is going to happen is you are going to be a company, and in this case, a country of dwarfs. Because the Prime Minister appoints somebody who is smaller than him, he appoints somebody who is smaller than him, he appoints somebody who is smaller than him, because kisko dimag hai, he won't appoint Baba, he'll appoint somebody who doesn't question him. So the country becomes that of dwarfs. It would rather be a company of giants if you start appointing people, if you start having people who are far more smarter than you, who are far more educated than you, who are far more efficient than you. If you appoint people around you like that, you end up being a country of giants. Modi ji, very good point, possibly may help you in the future. Namaskar.